Hi, this is Lee Solden. I'm going to assume that the film has started. It's usually about a 20-second lag between it when the film starts and when it says it's starting. So this is Lee Solden. This is live at World Languages. The topic of my lecture is learning Dutch, or me teaching you Dutch, to be more specific. I just did a post where I put the audiobook on YouTube that I'm teaching from as part of me teaching you Dutch. Anyone who wants to learn Dutch, please get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger, Lee, Lee, Solden, Sohlden, and I'll help you learn Dutch. And I want to start you with this particular video because it's not only going to get you your ear tuned in toward learning Dutch, and there'll be more ear tuning to other voices besides this one. But it'll also give you a bit of uh, introduction to some words in West Flanders, which is a dialect spoken in a part of Belgium. Belgium consists of many regions. Everybody speaks their own dialect. Okay, there's no such thing as there's a word called Flemish, but there really is no such thing. Okay, instead of it's a collection of dialects. So I believe that your education in Dutch should include some exposure to that dialect. Now, mostly I'll be teaching you standard Dutch from other sources, but this is a good place to start. It's a 7-minute video. Won't take you long to learn it. Um, okay, I'm gonna start over. This is Lee Solden live at World Languages. The topic of today is teaching Dutch. I teach a dozen different languages, and I'm learning them all too. And I also teach them, and I teach them by my method that I stumbled into starting ending March of 2019, starting in December of 2018. Cat wants some attention here. Okay, so anyway, uh, today we're just going to cover more word by word what this guy is saying. I'm going to start to where there's going to be a little overlap from yesterday, but just because I don't want to start in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so he says, "Maar het heeft mijn ogen, but it has my eyes." Maar is but, het is it. Heeft, has, mijn. He's using is saying mine. My eyes, that's a little bit of West Flanders there, saying men instead of mine. Okay, ogen, eyes, well, the opened. So it's opened his eyes well. His eyes were well open. In other words, he began seeing something differently. Okay. Okay, mehr and mehr, more and more. So this is what he realized, what he opened his eyes to. That I, dot ik, echt, which is really, well, hail, is well, very, he was translate the whole phrase as very, curious, nieuwsgierig, curious, ben, am, naar, is to or toward, who, how, dot, that, vreemde is strange, foreign here, foreign text, vreemde talen, foreign languages, talens languages, eigentlich, actually, werken, work, werken, and that I, dot, that, eigentlich, actually, graag, happily, or joyfully, or it means he really likes doing this. Okay, grach. Leer who. Leer is leer, learn. Who, how. Daja. Daja is a shortening up of that you. Dot. You is you. Dot is that. He says Daja. Okay. That you. Uh, dot. He says da, but I mean he's saying he leaves his T off of dot. That mu. He means to say, well, he's dropping his T on moot, which means must. Lesen, read, and gebroiken, and use. Okay. Okay. So, gebroiken. Okay. Ein best Dean, and he just told me what this meant a minute ago. Okay. So, and best Dean. Okay, his Dean there is D for this. Okay, and best this. Well, I don't know exactly why it means this, but it means that means and meanwhile, which I don't understand why that phrase means that. I haven't checked it out to see if that's a Dutch phrase or is that just a West Flanders phrase. If I would have put down and best D, but he has Dean here, and he means D this or these. Okay, and meanwhile, heb ook, have I also Bulgarian, proberen. Proberen is try. We've covered that verb before a little bit. To learn, tried to learn. Okay, this is an expression. Dot, he says da, dot, that. It's supposed to be dot. He leaves a T off. That was moeilijk. That was hard. Ik heb, I have. There. Eigenlijk, actually. Bijna, nearly. Niks, nothing. Van, from. Opgestoken. Opgestoken. He hadn't. The phrase means that he learned nothing from it. Opgestoken means light up, light, or rear up. Well, anyway, but using that phrase, niks van opgestoken means I learned nothing from it. Okay. Omda, he means omdat. He's leaving his T off. Omdat, because. Because da, she means that. Because that. Zo is so. Ingewikkeld. Excuse me. Ingewikkeld. Ingewikkeld was. So complicated was. So the word ingewikkeld is complicated. Every once in a while, I try to say my W's as V's because I'm so used to learning, German, but in Dutch, the W is pronounced a W. In general, Dutch is closer to English than German is. But not always. Sometimes the words are closer in German than the English word, but in general case, Dutch is a little closer to English. Okay, and ook, and also, een poging, poging is a try or attempt, a poging. Where does that come from? I don't know. But just anyway, poging means attempt. Gewaagd, gewaagd. That means dared. You can hear the like wagered in there. Waagd. Well, it's spelled W-A-A-G. You might look at that as wage, maybe. No. So it kind of has similar to the word wager. So it means dared. Gewaagd. Okay. Deutsch, for German, Deutsch. To learn. Okay. So we tried to learn German. Dat heb ik via Duolingo geprobeerd. So dat heb ik, that have I, by, via. That's not anything new. This is English word. Duolingo, this is an application for learning languages, which by the way, I had that personally nothing against. I've seen people learn with it. Geprobeerd, he tried Duolingo anyway. Geprobeerd, that's a word, probe, try something, geprobeerd. Okay, that's the past participle. Have tried. Altogether, have, geprobeerd. So he had tried. Okay. Okay. Velen means many. Veil means many. But when you make a plural out of it, because this is many people, right? Then you got to change it to velen. Um, E is shortened up from veil to they. It's velen. Okay, the en makes it plural. Okay, moving on. So many van jullie of you, van jullie, jullie is you, van is of, can be from or of. So many of you. This, die, ook, also, talen, languages, leren, to learn. Okay, als, as, hobby, of, or, for, nain. Well, nain, a little West Flanders in there. It means he's just saying un. Now I said that wrong. I'm pretty sure he pronounces that nen, and this is a is what the Dutch equivalent of that is. Is this word a, okay, or a job. Hebben, have. Hebben is have. Well, heb means have, but now here we got hebben means have. Well, that's because we're talking about more than one person, so you got to put an en on there, right? So it goes heb, I have, heb goes to hebben. When you talk about they have, you're talking about more than one person, or you all in this case, you all have. Waarschijnlijk means probably, dot, that, ook, also, gedaan, done. So you've probably also done that. And misschien, and perhaps, misschien is perhaps, zijn jullie, are you, akkoord, akkoord, okay, means in agreement. Okay. Or, of, misschien, perhaps, ook, also, niet, not. So maybe not in agreement. Okay. Maar Duolingo is niet, he's just leaving the T off. It's supposed to be neat for standard Dutch, is neat, or he says nie, anyway. Echt, really, het the best, voor talen, for languages, to learn. This is his opinion, as he states right here. Okay, denk ik persoonlijk. Thinks he personally. Want, because. Here's a false friend. In other words, the word want does not mean want. Want means because. Okay, because. Toen, then. Ik dat, I that. Talk about practicing on Duolingo. Voor een lange periode, for a long period, een lange periode, did. Heb ik het, have I it, het is the, remember it can mean it sometimes, but it also means the. It's used for the neutral nouns, for neutral nouns. So he had the het gevoel. A gevoel is a feeling. You can kind of feeling, voel, kind in there. So anyway, voelen is to feel. Anyway, and a gevoel is a feeling. Dak, that's not Dutch. Okay, Doc means that I. It's a contraction between dot and ick, that I. Dot. So doc is, I guess, West Flemish. That I. Air, there. A gentlik, actually, achterna means afterwards. Nie, again, it means neat. He's dropping his T. Means not. Zoveel, so much. Van opgestoken heb. Again, that same verb earlier, it means he hadn't learned anything from it. Okay, van opgestoken heb. So he's not learned anything from it. So he felt he tried a long time. It's his opinion. Okay, people have different experiences with different things. Of course, I tell everybody to use my system. This is free, by the way. I'll charge anybody. I like my system, so that's what I try to get people to do. But when I see something that'll help somebody, I don't care if it's my system. If it helps you, if you're learning from it, hey, great. I tell people, hey, take whatever you can from my system, use what works, and I don't care if you use somebody else's system. Again, I'm just doing this for free anyway. I'm not making any money off of it. Use my system, right? Just I think my system works. So I think it's a great system. That's why I'm on here trying to teach you it, because I feel that I stumbled across something that's very useful to you. So moving along, assuming this video is still going. So an aantal jaar later, and that should be okay. A aantal, a number of, and that should be jaren. He left off the end there, but just out of his dialect drops a lot of last letters. Okay, so anyway, a number of years later, some years later should be yarn. Okay, pakt weer of zo. Well, pakt has the main definition of take. So since it says pakt, fear, veer for, of zo. Of is or, zo is so. So he's saying it took 4 years. He's talking about 4 years later. So he's talking about how much time was taken between one event and the next. So he's using that pakken. Okay, and this is verb pakt. So it took 4 years or so. Denkik, he says, I think. Denk, I. They don't have a th, so they use a d, and so it would be think. They had a th, but then from think to think. Okay, so denk ik, think I. Ben ik begonnen, I am begun. Met een tweede, with a second tweede. Okay, so the twee is two, and the tweede is second. Anyway, met een tweede with a second poging. Now, so that the G you pronounce as a Dutch G, but that second G after the N, at least in his dialect, they pronounce it NG the same as an English person. So it's poging. You don't go poging. You don't put a little hitch there. Now, I gotta check it out. I need to get a straight up Dutch speaker and tell me if which do they say like an NG or they, I don't know. And I haven't asked my buddy Slash here if it makes a difference whether a Dutch speaker says that or him. But in his dialect anyway, we know that he says the G and NG as a G as an English speaker does. So it's poging. Okay, Deutsch to learn. Deutsch to learn. For Deutsch, German, to learn. To learn. Okay, so he's making a second attempt. So what did he do? Na een aantal maanden, then after some months, aantal, some or a number of, na means after, so na een aantal maanden, after a number of months, van op mijn eigen, okay, from, op is on or up, so on, men, again, he's saying men, for my. It's using some West Flanders there. So men eigen, eigen means own. So so after several months trying this all on his own, to oefenen, to oefenen. That's a new verb for you guys. You can see it several times here. It means to practice. So he's trying to practice German on his own for several months. Have I, ooit eindelijk, no, excuse me, it's ooit eindelijk, in the end, okay? And that's a combination of ooit, out, and then eindelijk. You hear that end in there, right? Anyway, in the end, nog means yet. Een keer, a time, on Facebook, geweest, ben, okay? Geweest means ben. So he went on Facebook in een, which means one, van de talengroepen, talen, languages, groepen, groups. So one of the languages groups, me, he says me, he means met, dropped his T again. Okay, met, polyglots and Alda. So he says he met polyglots, he come across polyglots. Let's see here. I originally met him at a place called Polyglots, the community. Actually, I think so. I think he's referring to that. It says an Alda, en Alda, and all that. The da he stopped short with the didn't say the T again. Okay, so misschien means perhaps. Weten means know, yelly. So perhaps you know. Ook, also well. Een paar, okay, een paar means a couple, but it can mean some. So some of van die Facebook groepen, some of these Facebook groups. Okay. Al by al is an expression, literally all by all, but it means all in all, all by all in all. Zeer handig means very good at or very handy. Okay. Partner, for a partner, mee te vinden. Mee means along. Okay. It's thrown in a lot of sentences. I've seen it used a lot. A lot of times I can't see why exactly. You got to throw in that may in there. But why not just use to finden, to find? Okay, whatever. So along to find. May to finden. Why is he along in there? I don't know. This is a constantly occurring word in the Dutch language. I honestly don't understand the exact reason they use it, but it's just part of their speech. And so you see may, M-E-E, is like, okay, this means along, and ignore it if you don't need to translate it. A lot of times you don't. You can still see what the sentence means without it in there. Okay, talen te oefenen. Say 4 languages to practice. So he's saying these groups on Facebook are a good place to find a partner to practice with. Okay. And it says, and ik heb daar, and I have there, thus, I have there, thus, een bericht. Okay, a bericht. A bericht is a report or a message. Gazette, he put the Gazette, sit down, put Gazette. So he put a message van of, okay, and he put in parentheses. So he's using that word van to saying what he spoke of, basically. Okay, and he said, okay, dat ik, that I, iemand, somebody, zoek, I am searching for somebody. So iemand zoek. We would say searching for somebody. He says iemand zoek, somebody search. I'm searching. Die, Okay, D means who in this case. The basic meaning for D usually is this or these, but it could have more uses. In this case, you'd translate it as which. D, and if you look at German, it's kind of used a lot in the same way over there. Okay, me can helpen, can help me, Deutsch zu öffnen, can help me practice with, öffnen is practice again, to help me practice with German, okay. And we have, okay, and, oh, die Manier, and on this manner, or this is how, and you know, and in this manner, ik lie tegen gekomen. Well, tegen the tegen gekomen means to come across, encounter, or meet. Okay, so he met me. It's a past tense. Got that ge before the verb Coleman. So it goes from present tense Coleman to gekomen. Okay, so he came, and then it has the word tegen in front of the gekomen. Well, tegen means against. So anyway, again, so he came across me. Okay, met me, and that's the end of that. I'm going to stop the video right here and see how it came out, and hopefully keep going. This is Lee Solden. It is 8/11/2020, about 5:32 p.m. I'm trying to do these lectures every day at 5 o'clock. Teach you guys Dutch. My system's called Accelerated Immersion. Um, a lot of this is written, and I got a bunch of notes about the whole system. If you look at this guy's video, I now have the entire system written in the comments below the video. Again, this is live at World Languages. Good day. I'll be back in a few moments to probably give you some more Dutch. Bye.